How are we doing, folks? In what is well, it's not quite a special, is it? It's well, I'll say it's a special. This is our F1 prediction show because we've decided we are going to be changing the release date of the podcast. We will have the Opposite episode going out on Mondays, probably race reports or stuff like that, or whatever we decide to do. But predominantly the podcast, because race season is coming into effect, is going to be coming out Wednesday/Thursday, depending on my editing schedule. And we are basically going to be covering everything. We basically worked out that we're effectively a week behind with everything. So
wasn't the best, was it?
No, it would probably be less than ideal to be talking about the Grand Prix that's about to happen this weekend, next week, and the week after. Although what's been going on with Iran, it looks like the Grand Prix of the Middle East are under threat. Certainly Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, Qatar.
Yeah, I think Imola and Portimao, the replacements.
They're potentially looking at as replacements, hopefully permanently. Yeah. Because they're just better. But obviously, events since our last show, we filmed our last show on Saturday, on Saturday, just as the strikes happened. And to be honest, a lot of people will probably be realising this may well have an effect on the current race season, not just in terms of Formula One World events, Qatar, the opening round of the World Endurance Series, WEC. That's already been cancelled.
Yep.
So it's already having an effect on the world motorsport stage, but also there's the issue with how it's going to affect with fuel prices, oil prices, stuff like that. Yeah, so it's going to affect everything, which is a real shame. Hopefully, sense prevails, because we don't want to be dragged into another needless war, but we're not going to get political on that. Let's talk about the fact that we were right.
We were right. We nailed it, didn't we?
Morgan to Plato Racing was confirmed this week, more or less after the podcast, which was quite funny. And
we've been rumbled.
We had kind of, I'd say semi-been tipped off. Someone had kind of said it looks like it was going to be on the cards. I won't say.
Yeah, it was a sensible choice, though, wasn't it?
I think so.
Sensible choice.
It's an experienced set of hands. Although at the same time, I did have a feeling if it wasn't going to be someone like Morgan to be alongside Dan Rowbottom, a young gun, a new charger, I would have loved to have seen Tom Ovenden go in there.
Okay.
I
don't think.
Or Dan Zelos, a young charger, someone that needs that lift up into touring cars and probably needs the help. They've announced that Snap-on's helping out, but I haven't seen much yet of this big commercial deal that JP was talking about. He said that they had a big commercial partner that was involved, a big potential title sponsor. I haven't
Do you think
seen.
We'll see it at the launch?
Potentially. There's a launch that's going to be in just over a week, isn't there? So we will be another episode through already. But I quite like Adam Morgan to Plato Racing. What do you think?
That's a good hire.
Yeah.
Adds is a good set of hands. He's done another year back in front wheel drive. Did a good job. Difficult to go in against Tingram.
Yep.
And Chilton's been there for a while, so it's a good base for those two. So to go in there and I think it did a decent job, to be honest.
And I think instead of racing against three other teammates and having to compete for the kind of attention that you require from three other teammates, it's only against one other teammate in Dan Rowbottom, who is, a part team owner.
Yeah.
But I think, and it's reuniting them both back in a Mercedes, which is...
be interesting to see what livery they do, whether Matt go back with ads or whether...
Well, no, because Snap-on are involved with the team.
That's true. So that'd be quite cool to have a similar red livery. But I think they're going to go for this purple, maroony. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that colour. But
not a fan?
It's not really bright enough for me. You know me, I'm blue and bright orange. But we'll see. Hopefully, I think the cars are going to look fantastic, though, to be honest with you.
I think so. They certainly, again, more of the images we see coming out, the facility, the cars, the way everything is being built.
I like what they're doing as well, giving the fans the vote on what sort of
the merchandise,
I think that's a cracking idea. Honestly, it's a really good idea.
I think it's a brilliant idea to do that, and it gets the engagement with the fans. That's JP all over, isn't it? That's his. Yeah. Although that's, Jason Plato has actually said he's not going to be involved in the physical running of the team, getting the 2 cars on the grid.
No.
He is the commercial man in the background, in the marketing and stuff like that. Quite good seeing a couple of the promo videos they've done. He's there with a Hoover.
Just getting the inside of the car up.
Yeah, just getting stuff done. They got the shells back. They're building the shells up already. The team have been busy and they're getting ready for a shakedown. So as we speak to you on Thursday the 5th,
Yep.
There was a video that went out yesterday on Wednesday the 4th, and they were getting ready for a shakedown in 8 days. So I assume just before the launch, they're going to do the shakedown, get the cars ready, give them a wipe down, and away they go.
Yeah.
So that's really good. But some great touring car news. And today, Napa have been out testing at Donington Park.
They have, yeah.
In the Focus Saloon, so it's good to see that car out and about and testing.
Yep.
Speedworks had Max Buxton in the car.
They did, yeah.
Is that an indication of where we're going to see who we're going to see fill the remaining 2 spots?
I think it's a damn good shout. I think maybe they're just getting some testing in to see who to put in those other 2 cars, basically.
Probably people with budget that will need to bring budget.
I think so, yeah.
I think MB very much are going to be running theirs as a separate entity as part of the Speedworks setup.
With WSR for the last few seasons anyway. There's been no hiding that, so... Yeah, I think they're going to do exactly the same as Speedworks. Speedworks will have their 2 cars, and then you'll just have the MB cars with their own livery and their own sponsors bringing their own backing. And the other 2, I think we will see the Gazoo Racing sort of livery. That's where I think we're going to go with that, unless you get a big sponsor. But do you think Cookie's going to be back in that?
It's a good show. It's what happens with One Motorsport. To see Josh Cook go back with One Motorsport last year, there was obviously a grand plan behind him returning. I mean, obviously, they took a year out, a sabbatical. Josh Cook then went with Speedworks in what was the Cinetic car at the time.
Yeah, I think he'll be back. I'll be honestly, I think he'll be back in a Speedworks car with the Cinetic back on it.
And he's still going with One Motorsport, nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, unfortunately. I just think that's the way it's going to be. There's been absolutely nothing.
There is a slight update on Unlimited. They have paid off whatever they need to do, so things have changed on Company's House, so they're not going to be struck down. So hopefully that means that they are returning.
Yep.
That they can get through the financial woes, but we can't. And I'm going to say this, but with the best will possible, we cannot have another situation similar to Team Hard.
No, we can't. That's not acceptable. It's just not acceptable, is it? It's not a good look, and then it's just not acceptable.
It's effectively you're on the verge of bringing the sport into disrepute. So I mean, to be honest, I've said it in a previous episode, and I make no bones about it. I do believe that there should be a fit and proper persons test for if you are competing in the top level of the sport, like British GT, like British touring cars, and which I did have a few sniggers from people that are in the know, and they kind of said, if you did that in British GT and British Rallycross and British touring cars and such like, you'll lose half the grid. Yeah. And I kind of went...
I do get it, yeah, I know.
To which I kind of sat there and said, well, maybe you need to clear out some of the bad elements of it. I don't know. Maybe I sound too harsh in doing that, but it's just unprincipled.
I think we're idealistic sometimes, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, the very simple thing is, Scott, I don't go racing if I can't afford it. You don't go racing if you can't afford it.
No, that's true. I'd love to, and so would you. But I'm of the opinion if you can't afford it, don't do it.
Yeah, 100%.
Because it just affects the ripple effect. People not getting paid, not just teams not paying their bills for services, essentially, and equipment. It's when
labour.
It's when you're not paying your crew. That's not on. Really, is it?
And by the way, we're saying that as a generic thing, not
we're not just hitting at one team. This has happened.
We've heard it in many places, which is unfortunate. People that are putting invoices in, not getting paid for absolute months, as we've already divulged. But if we carry on down that rabbit hole, it's just going to be absolutely mad. I do want to make mention in a couple of episodes ago, probably more than a couple of episodes ago, I spoke about my experiences. It was the episode with Millie, and we spoke about the experiences of Race of Remembrance. And today we had the news that James Cameron is stepping down as CEO of Mission Motorsport, of which he founded.
He did, yeah.
And I'll be honest, I just want to pay tribute to James, who is not only is he a lovely guy, he is so hardworking. He's a character. He's one of those characters that I believe should stay within motorsport, that you need in motorsport.
Yeah.
He served his time in our British Armed Forces, and I just want to say, James, thank you. You know, he welcomed me with open arms on the pit lane, certainly in ROR.
How big are his arms?
Oh, he's a tank. He's he's a hench bloke. He'd you wouldn't want to pick a fight with him, but he is what I would call an amazing sort of human being.
Yeah.
Just in general, and he's earned a sabbatical, so he's going to take a sabbatical, and then he's going to come back sort of in the background as a founder and sort of a representative.
Yep.
And they've got a new CEO coming in place, and and that's all been sorted. So it looks like it's something that's been kind of in the long term planning.
Yeah.
But you know what, Jim Cameron, what a legend, and thank you very much, James. You've been absolutely fantastic for Mission Motorsport and for British motorsport in general.
Yep, definitely. 100% on that one.
Right, let's talk Formula One.
Okay. Should we?
Are we going to get into it?
Oh,
so this weekend,
are we going to go for the jugular, or are we going to?
So
around this?
as we start, we have recorded this on Thursday, the 5th of March, to go out on Saturday, the 7th of March.
Is this going to be? Oh, it's going to be probably post qualifying. So it should be interesting to see how many laps
Aston have done.
Yeah, because it was an interesting press conference today, wasn't it?
So as we record this, Adrian Newey gave a press conference this morning where effectively he said Fernando Alonso believes he will last 25 laps and Lance Stroll believes he is going to last 15. And this is all to do with the Honda power unit. What on earth how fucking badly has this gone for Aston? This is a disaster.
This is probably the worst launch of a season you could ever had. Other than the pre-qualifying stuff when you had things like
Andrea Moda and stuff like that. We're kind of looking back to that, aren't we?
This is on a massive scale. Aston Martin are not a small team. They're a huge team with a fantastic facility.
And they have put billions into that. Not millions, billions.
Exactly. They have the best designer in the world.
Yep.
And they've chucked this Honda lump in. Now, Honda were going to leave the sport.
Because they were tied in with Renault, with Red Bull, weren't they?
So but now they were going to leave, and now they've come back to help Aston. Why? Mercedes gone, we don't want to help you because we think you might be another customer team that beats us, a bit like McLaren. But then you've got a designer that will not budge on any of the fundamentals or his designs on that chassis, because Honda asked, can you strengthen around the engine of your chassis, the way it mounts to the chassis? Can you strengthen it to take out some of the vibrations? And he won't. He will not budge.
So you're talking about the vibrations. So the issue that Aston have got on
the engine,
the harmonics of the engine are affecting the car, and the fact and you watch Adrian Newey in this pressure. First of all, it doesn't look like he's slept for weeks, and I mean weeks, because he's probably got the likes of Lawrence Stroll breathing down his neck, lots of investors, lots of shareholders, probably one of the biggest teams in terms of infrastructure, factory presence at the circuit, and he's got no answers.
Yeah, I think they're probably working in the background now. Newey is unmovable on his design. Everything with his cars is tight.
Yeah,
really tight. And there's a reason he's been employed and been given the job.
Because he's one of the best at what he does.
He is the best. There is no argument. Honda need to go back to why is their engine have so poor harmonics? But would you not? I get it. You want to get on the grid. You need to compete. You need to complete the races in order to score points, in order to get your money.
Yes.
So would you not bend a little bit on this for now and tell Honda, you need to fix this? Because this is the car. This is the car I've designed.
I think that's probably the agreement that Liberty Media / the FIA have. You enter for the whole year. There's none of this. Oh, I'll dip in for the odd round.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm on about you. It's going to cost you millions. It is. So the problem is you've got the massive cost cap. So do you strengthen the chassis for this season? Because it's going to cost, or do you just put the cost onto Honda to fix that problem?
Don't put the cost onto Honda.
This is the only solution for them.
Because from a PR point of view as well...
You're going to be the laughing stock in the paddock.
What, like McLaren were about 10 years ago.
Yeah,
funnily enough, with Honda.
With Alonso. This is what we touched on before. But I don't think it's Fernando's fault at all.
Okay.
I think it's just a massive cock-up. Was it... How early was this decision to go to Honda power units?
I don't think it was long.
So... It's not a happy marriage, those two.
No,
and I don't think it's going to get any better.
And again, I think Mercedes have been plotting this for a while.
I agree.
Ford powertrains have had a couple of years. They've been plotting this for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously we've heard through other podcasts and as such, and it's gone that, Liam Lawson has said in the press that the Ford powertrain is actually probably the more powerful than the Mercedes. The problem that Red Bull have is they can't put the power down. Yep. So that's quite promising, actually.
Yep. Ford have done a good job.
Ford have done a very good job, which is very surprising, and I'm a Ford man.
Yeah.
Now, the kind of position that Aston Martin are in, first of all, they don't even have any commercial time with Honda in their road cars, as far as I'm aware, do they not?
They've been using Mercedes-Benz power.
So again, that kind of confuses the situation.
Do you know the other thing that's interesting as well? This is the first season in which Aston Martin have decided to make their own gearboxes and not buy them in.
And that's been an absolute disaster as well, because a gearbox is part of the problem that they've been having.
It is part of the problem. They can't get them to marry up and work together, and it's breaking the gearboxes. It's basically, essentially shaking the car to pieces. It's going to break the drivers, and it's breaking things like batteries.
And it's, they've had silly things like tail lights come off. They've had...
How bad is that vibration? Do you imagine it's like... That's like having all four wheels unbalanced at 200 miles an hour.
Effectively, yeah.
So how can they get it so wrong?
I guess we'll find out. I mean, this potential situation with Bahrain being postponed and et cetera, might be a blessing in disguise. Because
you think we're going to have a slight gap and a rejig of the calendar? Do you think they'll try and facilitate?
I think so.
The Far East Grand Prix instead of cancelling them for this year and giving them to some of the European countries? Do you think they'll try and facilitate them later on in the year?
I don't know, but we could come back to that and talk about that in a second. But from the point of that might buy Aston a bit more time just to go to Honda, because Honda will probably be working 24 hours a day on it anyway.
100%.
Because, Honda are a Japanese manufacturer and they're very
proud.
They cannot do embarrassment. No. Honda will be absolutely devastated by this. And when they know they've got another Japanese manufacturing Toyota that's just kind of quietly working away potentially with Haas.
With Haas, yeah.
I've got another theory about that I'll come to. It wouldn't surprise me if there's an announcement halfway through the year that Honda have gone, you know what, guys, we can't do this, we're out.
But where does that leave Aston Martin? What's the solution to this problem? What would you do in that situation? It's your team. You're butting heads between engine supplier.
If I was a shareholder, I'd turn around and say to Adrian Newey, right, to fix the problem temporarily, strengthen the engine mounts.
Yeah. Do what you can. Work with Honda. And then write Honda off at the end of the year, maybe. And then approach Ford.
I'd say so.
Instead of Mercedes won't play. Approach Red Bull.
Yep.
Approach them. He's got a good relationship with Red Bull.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, is that the solution going forward? I don't know how long the contract is with Honda. There's going to be a termination clause. But if the product's not fit for use, essentially, does that negate that?
It's difficult, but essentially all of this has led to a press conference being called and Adrian Newey basically turning around and saying Fernando Alonso will barely last 25 laps of a race and Lance Stroll will last 15. So when it comes to the race, it wouldn't surprise me if Aston do 3 laps and then pull straight in the garage.
I can see in Indianapolis happening for Aston Martin. They're literally going to do the installation laps, pull straight in the pits. They won't even take a race start. I think that's what will happen, honestly.
Which is a monumental embarrassment.
It's not good, is it? It's not a good look. In a time that Aston have already had a bad year, and this is just piling that pressure. It's not a good look. As a shareholder of Aston Martin, you are going to be...
you'd be fuming. Yeah. And Lawrence has got enough stuff going on in the background, which we've alluded to. There's some bad stuff going on, both in his personal and in his business life. And this isn't going to go away quickly.
No, not at all. Not at all.
So, yeah, I can't see what the end game is for Aston Martin. I think they've written this year off already.
Yeah.
What was potentially they're probably exactly like what Williams was potentially planning to be. I mean, Williams had gone on okay in testing.
They came late, but they haven't embarrassed themselves.
No. And again, we'll come on to that when we speak about predictions for the year. But I think for Aston Martin, 2026 has already turned into a disaster. And I will be so bold to say is they will be fighting for last place with Cadillac.
They won't even be fighting, dude. They're there. That's it, done. They're nailed on. If going off what you've seen in pre-season testing, that press conference, unless they can find a solution and find that quickly, they are rooted to the bottom. Because I think Cadillac will have done the preparation.
They are a brand new startup, though.
Brand new startup, right? But I reckon they've put the mileage in. They've done the simulations. They've been working hard in the background. This isn't just a new team. This isn't a HRT dropping straight in quickly. This isn't another Virgin. These guys. They're not silly. I think they've done the work.
And they've got two experienced drivers. Okay, I get it.
Exactly, right? It is quite amusing that Valtteri's boss has got to serve a penalty that he got.
No, not anymore, I'm told. No.
They've seen sense.
I was seeing a couple of reports today that that's probably not going to happen.
And that's good. That's the smart thing to do.
But then, to be fair, because it's a brand new team, they are likely to be at the back anyway. So.
They will. So, let's start off then. As we're going to work through the team, how do we see Cadillac doing between their two drivers?
Are we going to predict Australia, or are we going to predict the whole year, or should we do it team by team?
Let's just do it team by team. So, if we're going to say Aston Martin, last place at Melbourne, last place at the end of the year.
I think yes. Yeah, I think
if they do manage to score any points and sort some of these issues out within the car, we're quite confident. If Fernando Alonso lasts the season,
actually, I'm going to think about this logically because we are kind of at the point where we're like, we've got to be careful we're not too extreme about it. Yeah. I think they will get it sorted to a point halfway through the year, and they will potentially look towards the bottom part of the points.
You think
the odd lucky result? There may be an odd lucky result in a rain-soaked race.
Okay.
So I think Alonso will finish above Lance Stroll.
Do you think he'll finish the season? You don't think if it's too bad to drive, he won't hang around?
I think he'll be gone at the end of the season. I think they'll both be gone.
Do you think it'll be a retirement for Fernando after that, though?
Yes.
Because there'll be no other options.
It'll be if he wants to go and maybe he'll go and do a bit of IndyCar again, or he'll go and do WEC.
Yeah, I think he'll be. I think
he'll try and win Indy again.
100%. That's the last one he's got to do.
Yeah. So I think that's what's going to happen. Put my tinfoil hat on. Okay, so that's Aston Martin, Cadillac.
I personally think.
Yep.
Checo will probably outscore Valtteri.
You think?
I'm a Valtteri fan. I love Valtteri. He's brilliant. But
do I.
I think when the pressure's off Checo. He's a better driver. He went into an impossible situation and was ground down by the dirty perv that is Christian Horner. And he is. He's a slimy fucker.
Yeah.
And just that.
Don't sit on the fence, mate. Just tell us how you feel.
No splinters in my arse, mate. And just that absolute Helmut Marko is a knob. I'll go back to that. He's not a good person. In my opinion, he didn't handle any of the situations well. Watching Drive to Survive currently is nailed that on. So that's my opinion of him, and I
would just point I haven't bothered watching.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
So I think, given the pressure off Checo, I think we might see a little bit of a Force India Checo enjoying his racing.
A bit of a resurgence.
Yeah, I think so.
I kind of think we might see that with Valtteri as well, though.
I agree with you on that one. I think Valtteri's of that. He'll just, he's chilled a lot. That's a good team with good experience in there, but I think Checo will score more points than Valtteri.
100%.
I think Cadillac are going to be above Aston Martin, but they're going to be behind Williams and behind Audi. I'm quite prosperous about Audi, actually.
Okay. Well, let's talk about the fast lane hoggers themselves.
What's your prediction? Do you think Checo will outscore?
I think Valtteri.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think what's happened to Checo, my personal opinion is I think Red Bull hurt him.
Oh, massive,
unfairly.
massively.
And I think what's happened is
They wore him down, didn't they?
wore him down, and he's coming back to the sport actually a bit justified
Yep.
in the results, because the people that then filled in for the Red Bull seats since
Didn't perform.
haven't performed.
Not at all.
And it's not their fault. That team is built around Max Verstappen.
100%. The infrastructure wasn't the car was. It's a really difficult car to drive.
Yeah.
Because of the way Max likes it. And the team was just all Max. You're going in and everything's against you, isn't it? And that's the way you would have felt. They never supported him, really, did they?
No.
So I think with the team around him, almost listening to another podcast when they said when Checo went into McLaren in that pressure cooker situation and JB was champion at the time.
Yep.
That's a really he was. That was a really difficult situation, and he didn't flourish. He was there a year and then moved on.
Yeah.
And
I mean, he didn't completely fumble.
No, but he didn't flourish. There was big things expected of him from his time at Sauber.
Yes.
And then he goes in McLaren and essentially didn't. He failed at McLaren. He was given 1 year, which is difficult.
And the car wasn't great either. It wasn't a world beater.
Not at all. And then he goes to Force India. And whatever, then all their incarnations. I thought he did a cracking job. That's what essentially got him
the Red Bull drive.
So,
and he is a Grand Prix winner for a multiple Grand Prix winner, and people forget that.
Yep.
So, sorry, going back to my point on Checo being down, I think he's been damaged a bit too much by Red Bull, but he comes back with the vindication of people know, having seen the people that got into his seat afterwards, okay, it wasn't Checo. But I think the experience is he's going to be too far gone.
Yeah.
And I think he's been out of the sport a little bit too long. I think Valtteri will just about have the edge. There won't be much in it, but I think Valtteri will just have the edge. Huh?
10 quid on it.
No. I'm too cheap. Audi.
What are we thinking of? I'm quite prosperous about Audi. I think they've got two good drivers.
Two good drivers. I think they've got a good basis. Petter Sauber didn't have the funding as such. Not the. He had funding. You know, they weren't the poorest team in the paddock, but I think now the Audi resources have been pulled in.
What do you think of the team manager? I didn't know a lot about him until I watched Drive to Survive. I'll be honest with you, because he was a Red Bull, so I wasn't really. So Jonathan Wheatley.
Yeah.
Very. Do you know what? I think he's building a good little unit there.
Yeah.
Honestly, I really do.
But it's a bit like James Vowles going away from Mercedes. You've got the same situation.
Honestly, I think the whole he's trying to build a team, and I mean this as a team, a whole unit, all pushing the same direction. The drivers get on so well; they're all pushing in the same direction. There's no bullshit. There's no politics. I think they're going to surprise a lot of people.
100%.
And with the Audi backing, they're going to do things very efficiently.
I think they're going to have the funding, yeah. They'll have the funding and potentially some resources available in Germany to go and use.
Yeah.
Because Sauber, they're based in Switzerland.
Yeah.
So I think they'll have extra resources to use and maybe some extra design teams, etc., etc. You know, it's a works-backed effort. Yeah, I think I'll go with that. I think they'll surprise people. But who will they finish above?
I think they'll finish above Cadillac.
Yeah.
I think they'll definitely, obviously, Aston Martin, but I have a sneaky feeling they could potentially outscore Williams.
They're kind of in that. So you think they're in that midfield band?
That midfield's really tight.
So that's going to be Audi, Williams, Racing Bulls. Right? Yeah.
I'd put Racing Bulls quite high up. I think with the Red Bull's powertrain, Liam Lawson and. I think he's a good driver. Actually, he just needs to deal with the pressure slightly more. But we'll get on to Racing Bulls anyway. But yeah, so Audi, I think they're going to finish above Williams.
Okay.
And I just think that this points are going to be scored early on with Williams, just struggling slightly.
Okay.
Williams, though, have two really, really good drivers.
Is this the year where James Vowles, it's either sink or swim? Depending on how this year goes, is whether he stays at the team.
I think he'll stay at the team anyway, mate. I think he's doing a good job again. He's another one.
He's done such a rebuild job in there, but he's had the years to do it, and everything has been built up to him to go. We've forgotten about the previous years, but then last year was a pretty good year.
It was a really good year.
So
Carlos was a fantastic hire for that team.
Have they effectively damaged their preparations for this year because it looked like they were going to finish strongly last year, And they actually pulled
to
some
get the extra millions in. Yeah, maybe.
And they've pulled the resources back. I don't know.
Maybe. But then again, they haven't wasted the money and the time to go testing.
But they have been
to make it not work.
No, but they have been very resourceful, and when we say it's a complete rebuild of the team, the infrastructure in the background has had to have such an update.
Yeah,
because effectively that team was still stuck in 2004.
Yeah, it was. It honestly was. So I think just because of their lack of running, I think Audi might just pick Williams. I think it's going to be really, really close.
Okay,
that's just my feeling on it. I think if the two Audi drivers are smart with the way they race and don't get caught up in those silly accidents.
I'm going to go with Nico Hülkenberg to be the top driver, though.
Yeah, I agree. Autoletto is good and he's improving every single season, but I think Nico's... If we look back at the way he did and managed his race at Silverstone, it shows he can do it.
Yeah, and he's got the experience as well that when he's in particular situations, he can maybe not adapt his driving as such, but he'll be able to kind of change what he does. And
it's just that experience. He's got so much of it, and I think he's hungry, and he proved to a lot of people that he could do it. I think now he's hungry to push on a little bit further. I'm not sure whether they'll get a podium this year.
No,
maybe another race that's a bit like Silverstone, possibly, but I think he's going to be fighting for the points.
Okay.
So I think they'll finish. So I think Williams will finish behind Audi.
Okay. So we both picked Hülkenberg to be the best driver in Audi.
Yep.
Williams.
Carlos will outscore Albon.
I agree.
I like Albon, but Carlos is class.
Carlos should be champion. Should be a champion.
Yeah, and I think he'll go back to Ferrari after Lewis leaves.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Okay.
I still say that.
That's a good shout, to be fair.
So, yeah, that's what I think on that. Where are you putting Albon, or are you...
Carlos.
Carlos, yeah.
100% Carlos. I think he's a bit more race wins. He's been up the front consistently, knows what it takes. Yeah, Carlos.
Cool.
Racing Bulls. Visa, Cash App, RB.
Yes, Red Bull Juniors,
Toro Rosso, Minardi, whatever they're called.
Yeah. I can't remember for the life of me the second driver's name. Neither can you?
No.
Limbold.
Limblad. That's it.
Really, really quick. I just think...
Liam Lawson is a talent.
He is 100%. I just think with him being there, he's effectively the number one driver within the team.
Yep.
I think he will do a good job this year.
I think he will, yeah.
And
he's got a point to prove.
Yeah.
After what happened with Red Bull last year, obviously, Perlet's gone now. But no, it wasn't. I mean, neither of the drivers were. We're not saying that, but I think...
Yuki was given a bigger, fairer crack at the whip than Lawson.
Than Liam was, yeah.
And he did no better.
Yeah. So I think Liam will use it. It will be a defining year for Liam to prove what he's worth. But I don't think...
You think he's going to have sort of a Gasly... He's in that's his nice little safe team.
He's going to have a Gasly style revival, but I also think he won't be part of the Red Bull setup at the end of the year.
Really? What do you think he's going to go and do? Do you think he's still in F1, or do you think he'll move?
He'll still be in F1, but it wouldn't surprise me if he is snapped up by another team.
But who, though? Is it a similar situation as they had with Ricciardo? It didn't.
Potentially. I mean, we'll talk about Alpine in a minute, but it could be that he does make the move to the likes of Alpine or
do you?
I don't know. Maybe Williams. Maybe if a driver spot opens up at Williams, he would go there.
That'd be a good team for him to fit into.
Something like that. So yeah, I'm going to go out on a bit of a limb here and say that Liam Lawson, he'll have a really good year in the Racing Bulls. It will keep him in Formula One, but I don't think he'll be part of that particular organisation going forward.
Fair enough.
Because you've got Armin Lindblad and...
How do you think he'll do?
I think he'll do well.
Yeah.
He'll score points.
Yep. Do you think it's going to be better for them now they don't have the hierarchy that they had at Red Bull?
Yes, it's going to be a very different way of going racing.
Yeah.
There is still going to be the pressure there of representing a brand like Red Bull and the
100%,
history.
but
And what
you're not going to have that toxic above you. Just look what happened to Hadjar.
Yeah.
That's not acceptable, really,
But
was
look
it?
at Hadjar.
Look, yeah, that kid bounced back
Yes.
so well, and he's earned that drive
Yes.
for this year. Literally, fair play. He's proven a point.
Yep.
And that's brilliant to see.
Yeah. And I'm going to make another prediction. So if, just tell me to shut up if you think I'm talking bollocks. But if you think,
Shut up.
I think, so obviously the car is still going to be set up and the team's still going to be focused around Max.
Yes.
So he's not going to be as quick as Max. There's still going to be that second driver issue, I think, until Max leaves or does whatever.
Yeah.
I think, right, with what's going on at Aston, Alonso and Stroll until the end of the year, both drivers are then going to leave and exit Formula One stage left and right.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Isaac Hadjar will end up at Aston Martin.
Really? Well, I don't know.
For some reason. So many me bones.
Interesting. I'm not sure on that one. I think he's going to perform well at Red Bull, to be honest with you.
Yeah? Well, they've got the powertrain for it, and
it's interesting, isn't it? Because you had the contract with Max. If he was in P3 halfway through the season, he could leave.
Yes.
Or below P3.
Yeah.
He was P3 halfway through. It's not P3 this year, is it?
It's P1, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So, okay.
Do you think that gives him an excuse to exercise that? But where does he go?
Does he leave the sport in total?
He keeps talking about it. Because he's not enjoying the new rules. He's not enjoying the new cars.
He's bored.
He's fucking Formula E crap.
Don't bag Formula E. We'll get told off. We'll come to that.
You convinced me.
We will come to that.
So yeah, okay. Let's jump to Red Bull then. So you're saying Max will outscore Hadjar. Hadjar will have a good year, and you think Hadjar will go to Aston Martin next year?
Yes.
Okay. I don't fully disagree with it. I just don't think Hadjar will leave at the end of the year. I think there's a high possibility it'll be Max that moves teams, and Hadjar will become number one.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Which could also happen. Which would also be quite good as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then there would be the fight between Lindblad and Liam Lawson for seat number 2.
Well, if your prediction would work, it would be Lawson would be leaving and Lindblad would go up.
Yes, very good. Okay. Alpine.
Gonna do shit until Briatore pisses off. No splinters in my ass, mate.
No, 100%.
That he is a dinosaur.
Yeah. See, Lawrence Stroll was named in the Epstein files and Briatore wasn't. I couldn't believe that. I know. He's just a dodgy looking character. He's probably the person I would have thought would be.
I tell you what, mate, if you watch Drive to Survive, I think it's episode 2 or 3, and it focuses on him, he is a knobhead. This is what I mean about dinosaur, right? And listening to Johnny Herbert talking about Briatore.
Yes,
okay?
Because he had the horrors of him at Benetton, didn't he?
The way Briatore treated Jack Doohan last year was disgusting.
Yes.
Absolutely unacceptable. He's not on. And then they put Colapinto in the car, and he was an arsehole to him as well. And no wonder the kid struggled.
Yeah.
Honestly. So Alpine are going to struggle all the time. They've got someone like him pressuring the drivers. The way drivers react now are completely different to the way drivers reacted 20 years ago.
Yes.
That tough love doesn't work.
No. It's a different sport now.
Yeah, you can be results driven and no bullshit, but you can't be like that with the drivers directly.
No, you can't.
It doesn't work anymore. You're not going to get the best out of them.
No, you're not.
I think Gasly's taking it quite well. He's a better driver than that car.
To be fair, Gasly's had to live with the toxicity of Red Bull when he was there and the shit that he had to put up with when he was there, so he's used to it.
But Alpine aren't performing any better, really, maybe slightly better than they were last year, and they were awful last year.
But I think Alpine will exit the sport.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's quite funny, isn't it? They put these engine rules in to keep people in like Renault, and Renault went, yeah, fuck, bye.
Yeah. But Alpine they've pulled out a WEC. They're done.
Yeah, I agree.
It wouldn't surprise me if Alpine. I mean, the value of the teams.
They're not owned by Renault, though. Are they? It's a shareholders. It's a consortium
It
of
is
shareholders.
a shareholders thing, but I think the Alpine name will go.
The Alpine, yeah, but the team won't. I think the team
It'll be Team Enstone.
Yeah.
As another guise.
Yeah, that's if it gets bought out by Pervy Horner and his crew.
Let's see.
I think they're going to struggle. Gasly will easily outscore Pinto.
Yep.
I think they'll be languishing down the bottom. I think they'll get outscored by Audi.
Yep.
I think they'll get outscored by Racing Bulls. I even think they'll get outscored by Williams.
You think they're going to struggle?
Yeah, 100%. I do. Yeah.
Okay.
I know they focus completely on 2026, but I don't think it's enough.
No.
Honestly.
And I'm wondering if Team Enstone is another one of those teams where the resources that they've got back at the factory are just starting to get a bit old.
Yeah.
And a bit outdated.
I think you're right. Yeah, it's a bit of a Williams. They're into that. They need the investment. They need someone to come in and shake it.
Spend some serious money.
Yeah, and I don't think Briatore is the person to do it.
No, I think to be honest, I think it's a disgrace that Briatore is still in the sport after what happened
with Renault. Should not be anywhere near an F1 paddock.
Yeah, because, for all the good that he did, what he did in 2009, and equivocally what he did to Nelson Piquet Jr.
Yeah.
Yeah, he should be nowhere near the sport. And I think the FIA have completely balls that one up.
Shocker.
Not
how many times are you going to drop the ball?
Yeah, well done, FIA.
Okay, so we've covered Alpine.
We're heading towards the front.
Yeah.
We've spoken about Red Bull. So
the upper echelons.
Yeah, the upper echelons. So we've spoken about Red Bull.
Yep.
That's a given.
Let's do Ferrari.
It's so difficult, this. My heart says Lewis.
I would love to see Lewis fight for a championship again.
Same.
And then leave Ferrari and F1 as an 8-time champion.
And walk off into the sunset.
Yep. I would love it. I think a lot of us would love it. There's people that don't like Lewis. I'm not his biggest fan. I've met him and thought he was a bit of a knob, but man, he's the GOAT.
He is.
So, I don't think they're going to struggle as much as they did last year. But I still don't think they've quite got the legs to take it to McLaren and Mercedes.
Can they beat Red Bull?
Yes.
Okay.
I think they can, if they sort their race management out.
Charles Leclerc.
Take your head off. And you're going to say, looking at it, Charles is going to outperform Lewis if you went off last year.
But if Lewis, the reports coming out, Lewis has trained more than he's ever done before.
Yeah. This is the thing. And you don't mess with Lewis. When Lewis has got something in his brain.
His personal life has been, he's got a new girlfriend, it appears, in Kim Kardashian. He's kind of fell in there. It would appear that he's a lot happier within himself.
Yeah.
Can he do it?
He can. I don't know if the car's there. Honestly.
But with the things like the rear wing that we spoke about last week, it shows that they are, which potentially they may not bring to Melbourne.
Yeah. It's just an interesting one, isn't it? It's an interesting dynamic with Charles and Lewis. They don't strike me as the type of teammates that, I don't know, they seem just a bit indifferent to me. It's not like you get Lewis and Valtteri that work together. That's the team. But Lewis and Nico were against each other.
Yeah, but they're also not butting heads.
No,
they're not butting heads, but it doesn't...
There's no... You know what I mean? It doesn't feel like there's any needle there to push it on and drive it that way. And they're not mates trying to, goad each other on to, push the team forward. So that's what I mean. It just comes across as they're a bit indifferent. Good drivers, good teammates. It's a bit of a, you know what I mean, Marcus Schumacher, Felipe Massa kind of thing, Vettel Raikkonen kind of thing. It's just, they're good mates, but there's no, I don't know, there's just something, there's a spark missing for me for those two.
Okay.
Is my opinion.
So, who finishes above who?
I'm going to go with my head and say heart and say Lewis.
Same. Because I don't want to admit it's Charles Leclerc.
Yeah. I don't dislike Charles Leclerc at all.
No, I don't. I think he's a brilliant. Again, he's another driver that could be and should be potentially world champion.
Yeah, I agree.
He's got that kind of. And again,
I still think he could leave and go to Leicester next year.
100%. And I'm inclined to agree with you. Him and Hadjar in the car.
I don't think. You think Hadjar? I'm not so sure on Hadjar.
Yeah,
but I think.
You think Maldonado can make the comeback? You want to talk about the GOAT? You want to talk about the GOAT? Maldonado.
No, Vitaly Petrov, isn't it?
Hey, Maldonado won a Grand Prix. I still remember that 2012 Spanish Grand Prix.
He did. Be Nikita Mazepin will come back, mate.
Good old Marzipan.
Yeah, Mazepin.
So 2 teams left: Mercedes and McLaren.
Well, if we go McLaren last, because they are the world champions.
They are the reigning champions.
They are indeed.
Mercedes then. George
Russell outscore Antonelli.
I agree. Yes.
I like Antonelli, but I think I want to say Max would probably go to Mercedes should the rules slightly change and he enjoys it. I think if he's not first, he might exercise it for next year.
Yeah.
Could you imagine George Russell and Max Verstappen in the same team?
Yes.
You can. You think, they'll be very needle.
Yes.
Very, very needle.
Yes. There will be fireworks.
Yeah, but I think Toto wants that.
Yeah.
So, as much as I like Antonelli, and I think he's a fantastic talent.
Well, that's the thing. Toto wants it because Christian Horner's gone. So he's got no one to beef with.
Yeah, because he's tried getting Fred Vasseur to...
And Fred's just like, I'm in Italy.
And then you've got Zach Brown will just laugh at you and think he's not really.
And then just do cringy radio messages. Good Lord, Zach.
Yeah, but there's no cockle finger.
No, that's the horn dog for you. Good Lord.
So there's no one else in there's no big characters down there. They're just very efficient, do their job well. So I think George Russell. I think George is a good shout for world champion. I still think it.
I think if Mercedes have got the car to go with the engine package and it's a good all-rounder, they're up for it. I agree, George. I think Antonelli will get his debut race win this year.
Yeah, I'll go with you on that. I think it'll be somewhere like Miami. He was really good at Miami.
Yeah.
Do you think he'll get a sprint race win? Because he did he get a sprint race win last year? He put it on pole, didn't he?
Something like that.
And then fluffed it.
Yeah, I can't remember. There's so many F1 races now. It's worse than NASCAR almost.
Yeah, nearly one every 2 weeks. Don't diss the NASCAR, man.
We'll come to NASCAR actually. I think George Russell is nailed on. I believe George Russell will fight for the title and he will finish second.
You think Oscar Piastri's going to finish first?
Let's talk about McLaren.
Let's go McLaren. So we got that nailed on. So this is obviously season predictions. We'll do in a minute. But you think that Piastri has just got the edge over Lando? Yeah?
I think Oscar Piastri, after what happened last year towards the end of the year, he's changed his backroom team. He looks more relaxed than ever. I think Lando's going to get caught up in the success of being world champion the first time. We know he has a weakness in certain situations when he's under pressure. I think Oscar Piastri will now capitalise on that and become world champion this year. And I think Lando will be beaten by George Russell
and Max Verstappen. I know you can see it on your lips.
It's going to be a monumental drivers' title challenge. I think Piastri, Russell, Verstappen, Norris.
Okay.
That's what I'm going with for my top 4 for the championship.
I can't disagree with you, actually, because as much as I like Lando...
And McLaren will win the Constructors.
McLaren will, yeah. They're the best overall team. They're still doing a fantastic job. And McLaren are my team. So
and they've got 2 drivers that will, on their day, win a Grand Prix.
100%. If McLaren don't mess the race strategy up, the race manager.
That's
Those
the thing.
two drivers.
That's the thing that will define it this year. The papaya rules, all that bullshit. I
still think there's papaya rules.
Yeah.
I still think there is.
Yeah,
but it's going to be a far more defined. There's going to be less grey area for that.
Yeah.
There needs to be the gentleman's agreement like you used to have with DC and Mika.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but
this
it's
isn't
all well and good until one of them breaks it.
Yeah, but this isn't the Ron Dennis era.
No, it's not.
So, let's see.
Okay.
Let's see. Who's your top? Go on, give us your top drivers for the season.
Okay. I think it'll be George Russell, Oscar, Max, and Lando. And I think Lewis will be... I think Lewis might finish 5th and Charles 6th.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
I want it to be different.
Yeah.
I think just looking at that pecking order...
Yeah.
And that's bad. That sort of is bad on Antonelli because that car, if George wins it and he's not up there, that reflects badly on him.
No, I don't think it does because he hasn't won a Grand Prix yet.
There is a team we've missed and we've made a faux pas.
Go on. They're the car, and that's the problem.
You forget about
Haas quite happily. But it goes back to what I was saying earlier about Honda.
Okay.
Toyota have got significant branding on the Haas team. So I'm going to make another...
in, aren't they,
I'm going to make another prediction. At the end of the year, Haas are going to announce the sale of the team to Toyota.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with you on that one at all.
And Toyota will officially end Formula One. They're in the World Rally Championship. They are in most domestic... They at least have a domestic series involved around the world. In the UK, it's through British Touring Cars.
Yep.
They've got 86 Cup out in Australia. They're involved in supercars. The Gazoo Racing brand...
Yep.
is around the world like Ford Racing is as well. They are one of the 2-3 main manufacturers around the world that are still embracing motorsport. And I believe they are going to enter Formula One fully by buying out Haas at the end of the year.
I wouldn't disagree with you, and I don't think many people will.
As for the championship...
I think Behrman will outscore Ocon.
Yes, I think
Behrman slowly and surely be getting better.
Yep, I think he will. And...
I'd love to see him back at Ferrari.
Pure and simply, the reason I've forgotten about it, and I'm sure you've forgotten about it, is because they're not right at the back with the problems.
They're in the middle. They are plumb middle. They're not causing waves. They're not
causing chaos.
Yeah. So you kind of go, well, yeah, they're still in, aren't they?
Yeah.
There's no Gunter Steiner to keep your...
Yeah, there's no
Fox smash my door.
Yeah, there's no entertaining Gunter Steiner, but I think they're just a team that are just going about their job efficiently in the best way possible, using the facilities that they have at Banbury. Let's see.
Okay.
Let's see. But I do agree with you. I think Ollie Behrman will outscore Ocon quite well, and I also believe that Ocon will leave the sport at the end of the year.
I wouldn't be disagreeing with you on that one completely. I think he'll go away.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Or go where all the other failed Formula 1 drivers go in Formula E.
Let's talk about Formula. Let's give 5 minutes to talk to Formula E. And again, it's our good friend Motorsport Woking, Chris. He listens and watches the podcast. Scott
Which is good.
Is very good. So thank you for listening, Chris, honestly. And we love everyone's opinion. That's what the sport is all about. That's why we do this podcast.
Exactly.
The sport is about the fans and it is about opinions. Now, we've both had a conversation about Formula E.
Yes, we have.
For me, there are two things that it misses, and that is the sound and the smell.
Yes, it does completely, unless you're about a mile away and you get the sound of all the generators powering the paddock and the cars. So it's kind of fake for me. But for me, it's Formula gimmick. It was a gimmick at the time that's been hanging on. I know the next-gen cars are coming on and they're meant to be at circuits. This is the problem.
Because they are now too quick. But I think the mistake they made, and you're probably about to say the same thing, the mistake they made, they should have done it on circuits in the first place.
They tried it, didn't they? They tested it at Donington. I think Gianni truly drove the cars.
Yeah. Well, they were based at Donington.
Yeah, and they couldn't make it work. The cars wouldn't say that, we have to go to street tracks. Okay.
So you now have to create a load of infrastructure and extra cost.
You're meant to be green. That's the whole thing, carbon footprint green. That's the future Formula E.
Yeah.
It's probably worse than putting on a Formula 1 event away from the street tracks, because every single one is a street track. You have to, and then to make the racing interesting, you have to have gimmicks like the boost lane. Say, if the racing's that crap, you have to add the gimmicks and the little, and it's not like you just play. You may go play Rocket League.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just, it ended up being teams would go in. Porsche did it. They went in. Oh, it's going full electric, and it's a gimmick again.
And then they realised that the market actually it's not going full electric. It's not going to work.
Sustainable fuels.
And they've pulled out.
Exactly. So it's rubbish. I've looked around these cars. I remember when they were launched. To look around the Jaguar. I thought, well, this might be interesting. It'd be cool. Give it a crack.
Yeah.
It bored me to tears. There's, like you said, there's no sound and there's no smell. I've seen them do demos.
And the thing is, like you said to me, would you get up at silly? And there are people out there watching.
Would you get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to watch a Formula E race? No.
Personally, I wouldn't.
Would you record a Formula E race on your Skybox?
No.
Exactly. They're bumper cars with wings.
Yeah. And again, I mean, I'm not going to mention Dan Ticktum. There's a lot of controversy around Dan Ticktum. I'm not going to get into that now.
Yeah, in my opinion.
No, I get it. There's a lot of people that don't. I think our personal opinion, we're not the biggest fans of him, but we're not going to go into that. We're not about bagging people on the show like in that sort of way. But I personally, I'm not a fan of Formula E. There are people that are fans of Formula E. I'm not. You're not.
No, it's a similar thing. They did that. Well, I don't even know if it's still going. What's the one that Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg had teams in, the electric Rally Raider thing?
Yeah, I get it.
That fell on its bum.
I can't remember what it is.
Electric isn't the way forward.
It was that memorable.
Yeah, full electric cars are not. I get it. Electric power, electric motors are cool for the acceleration.
Yeah.
So integrate them, which I have no issue with.
Yeah, but I think what it needs to do moving forward, okay, it's moving to the Gen 4 cars. If it's got to move to circuits, put it as part of the Formula 1 package, support package.
Yeah, what, just to bring in a crowd for them?
Savage. I think, they obviously wouldn't have brought the biggest fans anyway. And also the big sort of open doors moment for me is when they have to put influencers in the cars.
Yeah.
To try and promote the sport. That's when actually, is it struggling a bit?
It's starting to wane a bit, isn't it?
Is it starting to struggle a bit? And I mean, Izzy Hammond, bless her, having that monumental crash. And I'm so glad she got out of that car.
It's not just about Izzy as well.
But it had to take that to happen for everyone to go, oh, bloody hell, Formula E.
But every time you talk about Formula E is when they've had a monumental crash.
Yeah.
Nick Heidfeld, massive crash in the opening season.
Yeah.
It's a monumental crash. Why does it take something like that to bring your attention to Formula E? That says to me it can't stand on its own 2 feet. It's not big enough to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
and I think there will always be a bit of and again, there are people, there are traditional petrol heads that do like it, and I get it, 100%. There are people out there.
Everyone's allowed their own opinion.
Everyone is allowed their own opinion.
This is us. The way we feel about it. It's just, I like going to a.
But I agree. I feel it's very gimmicky. It was started with good intentions. But I think those intentions are long gone and out of the window. The world, as we know, there is an electric future to a certain extent with our cars, but it's not going to be the sole focus.
Do you know what they should have done? They should have made it like what A1GP was.
Yeah.
Make it the World Cup, essentially, of motorsport.
Yeah.
You could then... Because you take that circus around the world, the World Cup of Motorsport, you could essentially then have it in where you bring the young drivers through like we used to have with A1GP, because they, again, know that goes down to A1GP. It was a good idea, sounded fantastic.
But then with it being endorsed by the FIA, you're then, by bringing young drivers into it, you're then potentially taking them away from F2 and F3 and going up that rankings.
Yep.
So I can see where
it comes down to budget again, though, doesn't it? But if you could do it that way, maybe that would have worked. But to me, I just can't get excited about. I mean, I even got offered free tickets or something. There you go. I don't want to go. It doesn't.
It just doesn't appeal.
We all love motorsport. We remember the V10s, the V12s, the screaming engines, the big sound of a roaring V8. We're all petrol heads.
And I can remember, the first touring car race you attended, and because Thruxton was my local circuit.
Yeah.
I always remember as they went through Campbell, Cobb, and Seagrave, and then went round the back, the sound would then reverberate off the banking.
Yeah. And that noise, and when you go in the paddock, you can smell it.
Yeah.
If your first time you smell, I remember the first time I ever smelled Castrol race fuel. Like, all of those things, and you just don't get it at that event. For me, it just misses the mark. It's like an electric car with a box to make the exhaust noises.
Yeah.
It's not right.
It's definitely not right.
So that's my opinion. That's your opinion. Not everyone can share the same opinion. I understand, but you're not going to convince me any other way.
Yeah.
I'm really, really sorry. You're just not. And I think if you put it on the Formula One package, it'll be like what everyone else does when the F4 come out on the touring car package. Everyone goes and gets something to drink. I hate to say it because GB4 and F4, it needs to be there.
Yeah.
But not on the tin top package. So I think you'll get the same thing with
to be fair, I do think Formula 1 does produce good. Formula 4, does produce good racing.
It really does, but it's on the wrong package. That's the only thing for me. It's just on the wrong package. People go and watch tin tops for that. So I think if you did that, that would be my opinion. It's similar if you put them together. So Formula E, you put it on an F1, people go for the noise and stuff like that. I think if you have big headline events around the world, like Melbourne this weekend, supercars.
Well, yeah,
right,
and they've already had a race.
Right, but you go, I get to watch supercars and F1 on the same weekend.
Yeah, and the Porsche Super Cup.
Exactly. So if you went and had the British touring cars at the British F1 like they used to.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, how cool is that?
But the problem with that, and Alan Gow has stipulated that before, it was the whole rigmarole around being on the F1 package.
It was a lot. And also, Silverstone's already sold out from F1 fans. To then try and put that whole touring car package lot as well. Could you imagine? You could sell that place out 3 times over.
You reckon?
It sells out, doesn't it? Silverstone sells out anyway.
It does, but I don't think, the National never sells out every year.
No, but what I mean is you could sell more tickets than you do for the Formula One anyway. I think the after problem is it's so bloody expensive. And then having the touring car lot go as well. Yeah. It'd be a huge event. So, but that I know why you can't do it, but that's the sort of super package you'd want.
Oh,
so if you put something like Formula E on, I think everyone would just switch off. The track's too big, there's no noise. Yeah. But of course, it's like watching a load of C1s at a big track. We love them, but essentially
we know they're not. Yeah, but we know they're not a spectator sport. But that's where my role comes in with my pit lane commentary. In the fact
guy and the guy with the info.
Yeah, so we make do what we do and we add to the coverage. And maybe Formula E needs to do that and not just hand it over to a bunch of influencers.
There you go. Should we just touch on C1s just quickly because the news came out this week, didn't it?
Go on.
The 24-hour costing has come out.
Yes.
And we had an interesting conversation with the BTCC about this, didn't we?
What, about how much it's going to cost?
Yeah. So it's an interesting conversation.
I think this is one that we're going to have to do a whole separate episode on this, and we are planning to when we are trackside. Yeah. The cost to hire Silverstone is... Eye-watering. It's basically hire Silverstone for a 24-hour weekend or a small bungalow.
Yeah, you could go and race in the British touring cars for that.
Yeah. Pretty simple.
It's a damage.
Yes.
Basically.
And we will cover that in another episode.
We will indeed.
Because
the BTCC, in my opinion, has still done a cracking job and have kept the entrance fee lower than essentially what it should be. Yeah. To try and keep it accessible for everybody.
Yeah. So, and they've got the multi-classes in.
How do you feel on that?
What, the multi-class system? Love it.
I do. I think it's great.
I think I know this will never happen. And I understand why, and I know that the clubs are essentially fighting for the same business from racers and people that are building cars. But I feel that the clubs need to get together and work together a lot more often than they do. Mm-hmm. Which they do. They plan calendars. They do, they're almost civil. Yeah. But you just know in the background that there is a bit of infighting that goes on and bickering, and they start up championships and they take away championships from others, and there's lots of other stuff that goes on. And again, that's stuff to be covered on another episode. But when it comes to an event like this, they need to get their heads together. And Motorsport UK probably need to get them together and go, right, guys, you've got one 24-hour race at Silverstone. Mm-hmm. I know the KAs have also got one at Anglesey this year. And I think they basically say, right, get Motorsport UK involved, bring all the classes together and
Club
make
racing
it...
Le Mans, essentially.
Essentially, yeah.
How cool would that be?
Oh, and the 2CVs, they've still got the 24-hour race at SNET.
Yeah.
So and you make it's a home of British motorsport. You know, we don't have the likes of Britcar or the Creventic one there. Let's make this a big event. From what I gather, it's not going to be live streamed anyway. So
no, it's just because it's the cost of it.
But we are going to make it work.
Yeah.
We're going to work on the social media and we're going to get some fun stuff together. So do not despair too much. But yeah, I do hope this year it's almost a sellout, and I just wish the clubs would work together more to make events like this.
I'd love to be able to do it, and to be honest with you, I've got possibility. I could get the other car built. There could be 2 cars for us to build. So if you are interested and you're legitimate and keen, get in contact, because there's a possibility to try and get cars on the grid.
Beautiful.
That'd be great.
Let's talk NASCAR quickly before we leave.
Yeah.
SVG robbed. Absolutely
he
robbed.
Wasn't robbed, mate. He admitted himself.
Tyler Reddick drove brilliantly.
Mate, the 3P, first driver to ever do it. He absolutely phenomenal. Considering he thought he had a loose wheel early on in the race.
Yeah.
To drive through like that, even SVG would admit I had nothing for him.
No, he said the car was just it was pulling away from me. It was driving so well. Tyler Reddick has been driving so well, and SVG's quite quietly spoken anyway. But you know that when he's shown admiration for the other driver and what he's doing, you've done a good job.
And he'd done it on Saturday. He smashed it on Saturday. Didn't smash the ball properly.
No.
Kind of fluffed that one.
Yeah, kind of fluffed the kick.
Maybe that was the omen.
Maybe. Maybe it was, but he did a great race in the second string race. The O'Neills, is it?
The Menards, the Arca Series, the Xfinity, used to be Xfinity. Yeah, whatever the sponsorship is. Don't worry, keep going because I'm trying to find something.
So he did a great job in that race. Did an absolutely epic burnout down the straight, as we know SVG is capable of.
Oh, I tore the place up.
Tore the place up. If you ever want to see one of the best SVG burnouts, when he won the championship and then parked the supercar still burning out, got out, collected the trophy with it still burning out, got back in the car. Yay, I've won the Supercars Championship. Look it up on YouTube, honestly.
That's the way you do it.
That's the way you do it. He is the king of burnouts. I love SVG.
It was a good race. I watched it. I must admit, it was decent. Yeah, something caught my eye.
Go on.
And I messaged you about this, didn't I?
What?
So, Brad Keselowski.
Yes.
Done loads. Now the part owner in RFK.
Yeah.
All right. So, and don't get me wrong, he's struggling, broke his leg skiing.
Yeah.
And obviously, walking on the cane and raced. They had Joey Hand on standby to take over that car.
Just in case, yeah.
Just in case. So, he's obviously a bit of a sourpuss when it comes to, that's me being polite.
Okay.
When it comes to road courses, right? Because he had his arse handed to him. Right?
Yeah, he did. By several drivers. Yeah. Not just one or two, by several drivers.
And he's complaining this road courses don't make any sense as a business owner. They're the lowest attendance. They don't pay enough money.
But are they, though?
Right. So I have a little thing here that was brought to my attention. The 5 Cup Series races with the lowest attendance viewership in 2025, none of which were road courses.
Right.
New Hampshire, 1.2 million, Richmond 1.3 million, Kansas 1.4, Gateway 1.5, Bristol 1.5. COTA had the 3rd largest viewership with 4.1 million views.
Right.
Brad Keselowski, shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. You're just miserable because you've got your arse handed to you and you don't have good enough drivers in your bloody ranks to go and take it to SVG, to Carl Larson. If he had a driver like SVG in his team and he won that race, he wouldn't be saying anything.
I think what's happened is he's seen what SVG did last year, but instead of doing what other drivers are doing, and even SVG, Shane, Gizzy said it himself, other drivers are adapting their setups. They're learning how to race road courses to take it to him.
Yep.
Tyler Reddick, well done.
Exactly.
Fantastic.
William Byron, fantastic road course racer.
Tick, done.
You know what I mean?
Chase Elliott's going to be up there soon.
I agree with you. So the way you look at it, judge it on, say, what Race of Champions used to, especially when they used to have it in the stadiums and stuff, right? They used to invite the American drivers over.
Yeah.
Right? You have people like Tanner Faust come over. You had Travis Pastrana come over. Jimmy Johnson came over.
Did Ken Block do it?
Ken Block did do it, yes.
Yep.
So the NASCAR drivers that came over, they adapted to the road course. They did not at all, as people thought. Kevin Harvick, I think, did it as well. They didn't embarrass themselves, right?
No, they didn't.
Brad Kane never got invited. That's because he's a shit road course driver.
Not being funny, Dale Earnhardt raced for Corvette in GT racing.
The GOAT.
He raced for Corvette and GT Racing.
Exactly.
Shortly before he died at Daytona, he was racing at Daytona in a Corvette.
Yep. So, NASCAR used to race on road courses. It's not all about the ovals. You've got to adapt.
It is the ovals are the main part of the sport.
100%, and you've got most of them. You've now only got 4 races that race on the road courses.
There we go.
Right, so if you can't do it, get a ringer in.
Yeah.
If you were struggling, get Joey Hand in. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Score the points for your team.
Or you have a little look at flights from Australia.
Mate, there's a
Brody,
queue a mile long that would get
Brody
in a car.
Kostecki, Cam Waters, Jack Perkins has come over, and they have proven themselves they could do it on road courses in NASCAR. So do it exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Get the international, get
the ringers in, mate.
Get the ringers in. You get a bit more of an international presence. Why not?
Exactly.
Why not? Maybe look at Euro NASCAR. Euro NASCAR is on the ladder. Okay, it's in the lower echelons of the ladder. I get that. But maybe look at the European NASCAR champion and go, you know what, fuck it, we'll put them in for a couple of the road courses.
Yep.
They race at Venray over here, but they race at Brands Hatch. They race at Vallelunga. They race on European road courses, what the Americans would call road courses.
Yeah, so that's my opinion. That did
Fair enough.
That
wrangled you, didn't it?
That annoyed me because it was unnecessary, uncalled for.
Yeah, it was.
And there's these young drivers they can drive on circuits.
100%.
Yeah, and these guys would quite happily go and do races like Le Mans if the opportunity arose for them.
Well, look at NASCAR going to Le Mans with the experimental car and what they did.
Yeah.
And what they did, and a fantastic job that they did.
Yeah. I'd love to see that again.
I think they should. Why not?
That was epic, that car.
Why not?
That car, and they did it properly.
They
really did do it properly.
That should almost be a permanent thing. With the experimental teams, their own class. Why not?
Yeah.
Have a NASCAR, have a V8 supercar in there. How awesome would that be?
That would be class, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Thing is, I knew a couple of people that went to that race, and they were just like, the noise of that car, you could hear it over everything else. You could just pinpoint from the pits where it was on circuit. You wouldn't get that with Formula E.
No, you wouldn't.
But you also wouldn't get this massive big Camaro flashing and passing LMP2 cars. The thing had no doors. You know what I mean? Hendrick did a proper job on that.
They did a fantastic job.
So the guys in NASCAR can do it, and they've proven that they can do it. The teams are willing, some of them, to do it. I think you've got drivers that are willing to do it, and these
100%.
young drivers are going to come up and do it. There's some fantastic young drivers coming through, and they're starting them early. Like Carl Busch's son. I don't know if did I send you that video of him, the way he's being with his kid, Cole, talking to Brexton.
Oh, just saying it how it is. You're slow.
Yeah, the tough love has nothing to do with the equipment. If it's the equipment, it'd be there, but you're slow.
Yeah.
You need to do this here, this here, this here.
You're coasting. What are you doing?
But he's getting it and he's on board. That kid is going to be unreal out the box. Unreal. So NASCAR's coming on. Kevin Harvick's son going to Toyota. That was a big one. They thought he'd go Hendrick.
Yep.
So that's interesting. Yeah. Motorsport's properly kicked off.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm going to get up early on Sunday, as probably you are, and watch a bit of Formula One.
I'm not going to get up. Well, I am getting up early on Sunday because I've got to catch a flight. So I'm off to Belfast for the day. So I will probably catch the Formula One in departures as I'm about to take off and fly out.
Yeah, you're going to go and watch some wannabe Canadians, aren't you?
Well, they're very much Canadians and Brits. Yeah, I'm going to watch my Belfast Giants. But the one thing I will be watching as well is the supercars. One race has gone already as we film this on Thursday the 5th.
Yeah.
Brody Kostecki, bless him, racing with food poisoning. Got pole, threw up in his helmet, absolutely grim, and then took out race one. So as we record this, I'm just going to predict he is going to win the remaining races for the rest of the weekend, which has started with quite a bit of controversy that needs to be unpacked.
Yeah.
Probably next week.
Yeah.
When we sort of look over the Australian weekend. But Apex Hunters United, which is my favourite podcast, apart from mine, of course. I'll podcast, apart from Driving Talk.
Don't be rude.
Apex Hunters United is my favourite podcast, and they put out a clip of Scott Pye interviewing Jamie Whincup, and he has alleged in there that the Walkinshaw chassis that have been built for Toyota were MIG welded, which, okay, a lot of people tigged when they were supposed to be MIG welded. It's in the regs.
Yep.
Ryan Walkinshaw has hit back in the comments. There's been a lot of stuff going on in the press in Australia. I'm looking forward to seeing how that opens up, because in race 1, the Walkinshaw Toyotas were in the top 10. They were looking strong. They were taking it to the Fords. The Camaros weren't really anywhere.
Yep.
Let's see how this weekend opens up, and we will debrief it next week.
Indeed, we are. So we're So that covers everything. We're going to start changing our.
We are going to be changing our dates purely because we want to be able to record a podcast on a Monday after an epic race weekend. Tell you all how amazing with it. Still be excited, and then we're going to get it out to you sort of midweek, so you can listen to it on your commute to work. Everything's hunky dory, and then we could do it all over again.
Yeah,
fantastic. Well, Scott,
I think it's covered everything, isn't it?
That has basically covered everything. So this has been the Driving Talk podcast. Don't forget, like, subscribe, press. We're on TikTok, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook.
It's quite funny. My daughter, actually, did I tell you about my daughter? I got home the other day. You've been doing some YouTube shorts, haven't you? I have. Well, I'll be putting them up on YouTube. Yeah, you've made it when your daughter comes home and goes, "Why are you all over YouTube? What have you seen?" Yeah, not for that stuff. Yeah. So it's good. I think we're trying to get everywhere, aren't we? We're trying to get everywhere, but thank you for everyone that's watched, tuned in. I will always be grateful to everyone that tunes in, listens, watches. We do this for a passion project. Thank you to Race Tapes. Thank you to Icon, Paul Harvey. Yep. Just thank you everyone for your support. Much love. Even your abuse is welcome. Even your abuse is welcome. Why not? Because you get excited. I get excited about that as well. But this has been the Driving Talk podcast, powered by Icon in association with Race Tapes as well. I've been Rob Lewis. You've been Scott Evans. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye for now. Bye.